It's not my fault that idiot's famous. It's your fault this idiot's famous. And then you're going to sit there and blog about Pepsi's fault? No.
That's how it is. Here we go. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune. I watch the pen move to shape the brain. Who makes moves, maneuver in the right direction?
Nice.
The rest of you get left behind and messed up in the session.
I've also listened to it so many times editing.
White people, black people music. Love it.
Oh, it's from Canada, so yeah, basically same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. Is it? Who is this?
It's Champion Sound featuring Baboom Box. DJ Alibi is the guy.
Yeah, so it's a Canadian band who they do stock music.
I thought this was one of those, from the 80s or something.
No.
This is what Canadians are doing now.
This is what Canadians are doing now.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, I can tell you all about Canadian hip-hop.
They're like 40 years behind. Basically. Okay.
Oh, yeah, man, it's great. Welcome to Drunkcast Live.
Yay!
Episode 214. Now, I'm Travis.
I am Dylan.
And we're a podcast that takes place in Austin, Texas. Sometimes in other states, sometimes in other countries, eventually. We like to have some drinks and talk to some interesting people about things that have happened over the week. We're very lucky to have Arielle Norman on our show. She can't talk right now, which is very unfortunate. She has a cold. No, hello. How are you doing?
I'm great. Today's great.
Yeah, I don't know where he was going with that one.
I don't know.
I was like, is my mic off? Did you turn my mic off? Oh, no. Okay.
It's gone by. Arielle Norman's a comedian here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
You've performed all over. And I never really... I mean, I know for a fact that there's certain words you just... I say comedian's great.
Yeah.
Comedian just seems really rude.
No, I don't like that
Funny
at
woman.
All. Funny person.
Funny person. Funny person.
I'm not like... I don't identify with the feminine very much. So the more neutral you can go with me in particular would be great.
Sure.
But I think most female comedians also don't. Every now and then one will call themselves a comedian, but usually that's someone who like barely does comedy.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
They put that hat on, that comedy fedora or whatever. Like, I can't wait to do this. I spent $15. I'm the funniest person in Austin.
Yeah.
I went to Nathan's improv class.
Yeah.
Although the people who do that usually are men who've never done comedy before. But we've had a couple of women so far this year.
Comedy men. Yeah.
Comedy men? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cute.
That sounds
Let's
close
pull
to
that out.
Meninist. Comedian meninist. This is the first time you're on our show, so you have to answer 3 questions.
Okay.
First, what are you drinking?
Mirror Pond Ale, Pale Ale, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Is it
Beer.
You're drinking beer.
Drinking beer.
Is it one you go for, or you just kind of like whatever is in that family?
At this point in my life, I've gotten to the point, I think I've tried about 3 million different beers, and so I no longer feel compelled to do anything interesting. I try to drink the beer that tastes the most like a beer to me.
Okay.
I like lagers. I would rather drink a Lone Star than an IPA, almost any IPA, unless it's the winter and I'm having one beer with a meal. I'm not going to drink any stouts and porters. So it's really just the less hops, the
Sure.
better, more just
Beer flavor.
beer. Yeah,
Beer
I
is
like
fine.
the flavor of just beer.
Is that why you gave up the beer blog?
I mean, the beer blog I feel like probably has 8 posts in it.
Arielle's Beer Diary.blogspot.com.
I have a lot of abortive projects in my life. but I used to be a foodie. I used to be I have an OCD. Like I had really bad OCD as a teenager, and I have this OCD personality. So the idea of like wanting to try everything drove me for a long time, and now I'm over that. I've shed that kind of compulsive thinking bit by bit over my life.
Kind of formed you, right? I mean, you had to figure out what you really liked and what you didn't
Right.
like.
And I still like trying new things, but when it comes to beer, it used to be one of those things where I would go to a bar and there would be, 38 beers on tap. And so I'm going to look and see if there's any I haven't tried yet. And then I have to try that one, even if it's a fucking Saison. And I hate them. I hate them all. I've never met one I liked, but I still, and so like just over time, I finally got to the point where I was like, nope. I like lagers, preferably Mexican style lagers, not the Vienna shit. Occasionally a pale ale or IPA that does not particularly hoppy, and a red ale maybe.
So Lone Star or PBR, which one between the two?
Oh, Lone Star,
Lone Star.
easily.
It's funny because people can kind of conflate the two. But
Yeah, PBR is so gross. Sorry, PBR.
It's really gross.
Sorry if they were a sponsor.
Yingling or
lost
Lone
them.
Star?
Probably Yingling. Depends on how skunked I think the bottles are. It's, you know,
Right.
well, you know, Yingling was when I lived in Texas. Growing up in Texas, I dated someone who, when I was like 21, she was from North Carolina, and it was a big deal to her when her mom brought like 2 6-packs of Yingling.
Yeah.
But then when I lived in New York, there was Yingling, I think, and then when I lived in Boston, at some point, Yingling had their big thing where they were everywhere all of a sudden, and they like gave so much free beer away to so many places that everywhere had a tap, everywhere had Yingling, and I was drinking it then, and I remember drinking it at the Comedy Studio in Cambridge and being like, oh, I do not like Yingling on tap. Anyway, the point is, yes, I have opinions about beer, but they're not interesting. That's why I don't do a blog about them anymore. It's just fucking beer. I don't care anymore. Like, and the same thing with a food blog. It's so fucking boring to talk about food. Sometimes I would make it fun and interesting, but like those posts would get so lost amongst the completest OCD bullshit of the food blog, where I had to write about every single restaurant I ever went to. So it just wasn't interesting. Although I did have some fans, and I made some money, and like I got some free stuff, and I don't know. But
Oh, okay.
so that's part
I
of
didn't know we got that far. That's cool. Well,
Yeah, and
but
it's
you
a-
don't do it anymore. Well, you left that behind. That's
yes,
cool.
yes, it's over.
Okay. Question number 2.
Hmm.
What is your spirit animal?
The other day, my fiance Katie said that it was a prairie dog, just because there's
You
a
said
certain.
that with a heavy heart, though.
Well, I don't really like dogs. I mean, I like really cute dogs. It's just that I'm a cat person. So I would like, but that's the thing. I like cats because I'm probably a dog. As a spirit animal, I am a fucking stupid dog.
Aren't those rodents though?
Yeah, prairie dog's like closer to a hamster or chinchilla.
Well, I don't even know what a prairie dog.
Okay,
Like it's
okay.
just there's a thing where you like your head pops up and I do like when I'm alone with Katie and we're being really gay together, which is way too much. I just am I look like a prairie dog a lot. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I can't argue with that
All
because
right.
I haven't seen you and your.
I mean, yeah. What does my spirit animal feel like to you? I haven't done the ayahuasca. You know, I would love to. If anybody has a shaman in their lives and some ayahuasca, I
If
would.
you know a shaman, you can call 802-359-7468.
Yeah, please let us know.
Please listen. Third question is random for you. Hopefully, you'll never hear it again. No one else has had this question. Do you have any brand loyalties you can't shake?
I mean, I think I could shake anything, but but again, like beer, I have figured out some things that work for me, and I will just only buy jeans at Buckle now. And there's
Okay.
a few kind of ones that fit me, but it's just one of those things where you spend your whole life trying to figure out what works, which I mean, I don't know, beating your head. Well, you wouldn't know as a man, but as a woman,
That's not 100% true. I
it?
only do Joe's jeans now because
Do you?
they fit me all
yeah,
right.
you got to find the thing that is,
Yeah.
I mean, and so I just wait, like every 3 years, I accumulate enough Buckle gift cards that I can afford to buy the next pair of jeans.
like you find them in
No, my
Sewer grade
fiance's
or-
mom or my sister mostly give them to me for Christmas or birthdays, and
okay.
yeah, and I collect all the stamps. It's unfortunate because when I was with my ex-wife when we were together, she had money, and so she like acclimated me to J. Crew and Buckle and things, and so now I just buy clothes almost never because I would rather buy a few nice things that last for a long time and are nice, and then
Sure.
yeah.
I don't know Buckle is a bad brand or anything. So.
I mean, they're all bad. I mean, I'm sure it's made by. But what am I going to do?
Well,
I mean,
ethically, sure. I
Yeah.
I just there's a certain amount of it you just don't look into.
I wonder if
Try
I
not
am
to,
brand loyal to anything else. My fiance is brand loyal to a certain kind of Dove soap, so that's now in my life. I don't give a shit what kind of soap we use, and it is easier than me price comparing every single time I go to the store.
Sure.
I'm just like, fine,
Yeah, the same thing.
I'll
sure.
buy this in bulk.
Yeah.
So there's some things. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not very brand loyal, but I do like now Axe hair products. That could go away at any time, but I use the yellow kind of Axe hair stuff.
Okay.
And
The yellow kind.
The yellow kind. And I've started using their deodorants, partly because I like their names.
Yeah.
I saw the other day Axe has an Anarchy. I just think that's such a great. All right, Axe. You know what? It's one thing when it's like, I don't know, Arctic Musk is how I like to make fun of Axe.
Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix, whatever. But like Anarchy. Really?
Be like
mega brand?
Banksy
Yeah,
or-
Banksy. Banksy starts repping the. Yeah, that would be great.
I'm not sure there's a lot of money in graffiti in the first place. So.
Yeah, he's probably a fucking trust fund kid, isn't he? You know what I mean? Like, you got all this time to whatever.
Wasn't there a thing?
He built his mysterious Disney World. Yeah, where do you get that kind of money from?
There was some theory that he was.
I don't know anything about
that he
him.
was like one of the members of NXS or something.
I never saw that.
Someone went and did all the research and saw that it was NXS or some band like that from that era.
So Michael Hutchins faked his own death. And he is now Banksy.
It was like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
It's just as plausible as anything, really.
It could be Lance Bass for all I know. Let's just put all of the like urban, what do you call the urban myth things? What is that? Urban legend
urban
things
legend.
all together. Yeah. It's Mr. Rogers. It's that one Power Ranger, whatever.
Banksy showed up right when when Tupac was shot.
It's Tupac.
Coincidence?
Of course, yeah.
Thank God. Yeah.
It's always Elvis in some iteration.
Yeah.
Well, you get all those answers right, so.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What's my prize? All this alcohol that
Another
you're buying me?
shot.
Thanks.
One more shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
No more shots. I'm not doing any more shots today.
One more shot at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll be like an hour from
Yeah,
now.
that's,
You'll be
that's,
fine.
yeah,
Okay.
that's tomorrow.
After we eat.
Yeah, after we eat.
Cool.
So you said, so I did find you on LinkedIn, so I know a little bit about you.
Oh, yeah, my LinkedIn. I'm sure that's...
Now it's getting real.
But so when you're watching people's sets, a lot of stuff comes out. Like I know Greg, and I know what he lies about.
Yeah, Greg Lockwood, everyone,
Yeah,
just
Greg
for
Lockwood.
the listeners.
Big fan of the show.
Have y'all had him on?
Yeah. He's
I'm going to go look up his episode.
He's one of my oldest friends. He lies about a lot of stuff. He's a liar all the time. So you said that you were from Austin, though. Is that true?
When did I say I'm from Austin?
In one of your sets, you said that you were from
I think
Austin.
I just mean when I'm talking to audiences who aren't in Austin, I say it from as in I live there. I hate that when people say where are you from because I'm like, what version of this story do you? I was born in Houston and raised in Houston.
Yeah.
I live in Austin now. I've lived a number of places. So
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about the chronological. Like, why'd you come back to Austin? Was it
for love, for Katie.
For Katie, cool.
So I was.
Oh.
I got married to a different woman in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Our wedding was in Florida, but at the time, gay marriage wasn't legal everywhere, and so this was in 2014. So in at the end of September of 2014, we got married in Florida, and then a few days later, I told her I'd never been in love with her. I was in love with Katie. So. Yeah.
really just got that out of the way.
Wow.
Okay.
I would better late than never. So, so yeah.
Welcome to marriage. Yeah.
Katie at the time lived in Dallas, and I lived in Boston, and so we needed to figure out where we could be that would work for both of us. And she's a farmer. I'm a comic. And I realized there was a good scene here, and I talked to some people, and I looked at lastgascomedy.com, and I realized that this could work, and so we agreed on that.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. So you were doing comedy up there too?
In Boston. Yeah, I had started doing Boston
because you went to
almost a year before I moved here.
UT Dallas in 2008,
Yes.
and then I saw in some of your blogs you were drinking some coffee. You were drinking a beer from someplace in Massachusetts, and it was like that's a big weird jump. What brought you up there?
Well, I after college in Dallas. And after about a year, I moved to Orlando, where my sister lived, and I just wanted to get out of Texas. I needed to just start living my life and whatever. And so, I just needed to start, figuring things out. And so, I lived there for 7 months, and then I decided to move to New York. I'd met some of my sister's friends who were writers, and things had just worked out for them. Now, this was before things stopped working out for people as writers, but they had just moved to New York without a plan, and they just got writing jobs, and I thought, I can do that. And so, because I thought I wanted to be a writer, I thought I wanted to be a comic, but I was also terrified of that. And being a writer like David Sedaris type stuff was kind of the ultimate plan that I kept having because it seemed less terrifying than being a stand-up comic.
Sure.
And
sure.
so I was planning on moving to New York. Now, I did have a day where I was running on the beach while, like, condo sitting my sister's then girlfriend, now wife's, beach house. And
That old chestnut,
yeah. And I was listening to Rihanna's Hard. And suddenly this stand-up routine was coming to me. And I thought, I'm not moving to New York to be a writer. I'm moving there to be a comic.
Yeah.
And I ran back to the beach house and recorded this thing. I really would love to find it because the whole bit was about how sometimes you're having sex with someone and you're just thinking about that one ex, and that ex that was about, and this is in 2009, 2010, that ex that was about was Katie, who I would later leave a woman for.
Oh, cool.
Anyway,
okay.
So I did move to New York and lived there for a year, but I did comedy. I did comedy twice in Orlando before I moved, and then I did comedy once in Dallas, kind of in the interim, because I was like, hey, friends, I'm doing this now, so I did some open mic there. And then I think I did one, maybe two, but I think one open mic in New York, and then I quit for 4.5 years. It's a big regret, but I have a lot of ways of rationalizing that was the way that things are supposed to be. Everything happens for a reason, etc. And then anyway, because I got just so distracted by food, honestly, I spent all my time and discretionary income on food in New York. I got so obsessed, and this food blog thing started there and whatever. But a year later, I moved to Boston because I wanted trees and I wanted some mental peace. And also, I had been to Boston once before I decided to move there. And I was like, not only is the air cleaner and and it's pretty and stuff, but I was like, this is where they're keeping my kind of lesbians. I went to one event in Jamaica Plain, and there's this one bar there called the Milky Way / Bella Luna, and we got there at 1 a.m., which for some reason they stopped serving beer or alcohol at 1 a.m. there. And we got there at 12:50. Got off the orange line, got there at 12:50. And still in the last 10 minutes when they'd already turned the lights on, I was more attracted to... With the lights on.
Yeah.
I was attracted to more women there I'd ever been attracted to in a room in my life. And they were just kind of sporty and I don't know. So I thought this is where I'll come and find. I wind up marrying... She'll never listen to this. Kind of a dum-dum. I did meet her there a few years later. She's a millionaire, so I'm sure she's married to another woman now too. So she's fine. Yeah. But we won't use her name. But
okay. Yeah. Just in case.
Yeah.
I mean, better safe than sorry.
I don't know. I don't want to hurt her. I do love her.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
She was a great.
We can go to a break right now. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's go to a break.
Change the subject and go to a break. We'll come back to this.
Yeah, that's if it weren't for all that shit, I probably wouldn't care that much.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Segment 2. The Double Deuce. Still hanging out with Dylan, of course. Still hanging out with Arielle Norman. I'm saying that right?
Arielle Norman. Yeah. Lately, people have stopped mispronouncing it all the time, which I find very flattering.
What kind of mispronunciation?
Yeah, what's the worst you've heard?
Worst?
Yeah.
I was counted absent in school, in 8th grade or something, because we had a sub 2 days in a row, and that's the only reason I realized it. The first day I didn't notice that I didn't get called on the roll. And the second day she goes, Irina Norman?
Irina?
Doesn't make any sense. I had to go up to her and be like, did you count me absent yesterday? Because you said it Irina, even though that doesn't make any sense in any way whatsoever.
How letters work? Or,
But yeah, so... and then my first day of French class in college, I think she was going down the roll, and I think she was like Arielle Normand, and said it because she then she said she goes Arielle Normand, because she went way deep for everybody's first day. It was several people, including Travis. We just dropped that class. And so she said something to me. I think she said, I just imagine she said, "Hey, your name's French. Are you French? And you just took this class for an easy credit or something?" And I was just like, "Présent? I don't know. I think you said my name." No, but people say the problem with Arielle is that it's Arielle, Arielle, Arielle.
Really? I mean, I see that. But it's Ariel.
Yeah, yours is
double
That's
L with an
pretty
E.
great,
pretty
but
plainly.
literally like 80% of the time, people's instinct is to pronounce it differently, especially because I spell it Arielle,
Yeah.
which I do think Arielle makes the most sense because of the French feminization that's going on. Arielle. But Ariel is, my parents did the French feminization of what's historically a Hebrew male name. And, Ariel Sharon was in the news at the time, and my mom had a professor named Ariel. And so she just, made it happen. And then I think a year and a half later, Little Mermaid came out, kind of changed everything.
Done and done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even hear it most of the time if people pronounce it wrong. And so that's the problem, is I won't correct them for so long that then it becomes like, "Oh, hey, we've known each other for a year and a half. It's Ariel." But people, I don't like on comedy shows and stuff, if people are announcing me, I prefer them to say Ariel, partly because I have all these silly things on the internet, Overshariel, Self-Awariel is my Instagram, an Ariel View is like a thing, whatever.
Oh, you actually, I conflated those two. That's the reason why I was like, they did that other Twitter account.
So that's probably why you are so sure that it's Ariel, is
Yeah.
because you get the little wordplay situation. Yeah.
Very important. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Pronounced that way.
Yeah, that's like, if it weren't for all that shit, I probably wouldn't care that much. But I'm like, I need you to know how to whatever.
I can actually ask you about
Over Shariel wouldn't make any sense.
so that's that's a Twitter account that we can't even remember if it's yours or not, Overshare. But can you tell me why? And I'm just looking through your tweets earlier. You are.
Oh, hey, I have 5 notifications. Or is that you?
That's me. You're at
Damn.
Poop Tamton. Right?
Yeah.
It was previously something else.
Who is that? Can I say it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It was at Poop Rape.
Okay. Why the change?
Well,
Is it like,
there were some places where I was like, I don't want to upset people and make them not be able to say it. Also, it did seem to actually offend some people.
Yeah. Even for the absurdity of it?
Yeah, my favorite part was just that when I would tell men what my Twitter was, I would always be, it's like, at Poop Rape. And they'd be like, "Did you say poop grape?" And I was like, "Nope, at Poop Rape." And they're like, "Poop great?" "No, Poop Rape." Poop, and it was just, but I got to the point where I just thought, I was, if I was printing off business cards or merch or whatever, I had a whole series of things. In fact, when Katie and I went on tour together last year, there were koozies and stickers that said at Poop Rape. And I was like, going into the future, I don't know. I like the spirit of it, but it came about because Katie and I one night were just, in bed at night talking about something, and I don't know the context of it, but at some point she was just like, "Oh, it's one of your poop rape jokes." So I was like, okay, that's my new Twitter handle.
So it wound up being okay.
Yeah.
A thematic Twitter account. Yeah. This is a synopsis of my jokes.
I used to tell a lot more rape jokes than I do now. I feel like in Boston I had a lot more platforms for rape jokes than I do here.
Are they more open-minded to it, or? Because I don't know what that side of the thing is exactly. Like walking off stage and having someone get up in your face and get upset with you.
People don't do that. People have done that a few times to me, but very rarely. And the only times it's happened in Austin and not Boston. But I was in Boston for not quite a year, and I've been here for more than 2 years now. So,
yeah, sure.
But it was a rape joke that I got in trouble for in Austin. I'm thinking about this one time at Cherrywood, the open mic where. But it wasn't even.
You want to share it, or you want to
the joke?
No,
yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
Because it needs to be in the context of people need to be. And I shouldn't have done it at Cherrywood. It's an open mic that people are outside on laptops, and she listens when she hears the trigger word, and she didn't hear the context before, and it's that kind of thing. But yeah, I think about that more and more lately is like Austin's sensibility. Austin is not nearly as sensitive as certain places, but our audiences are more sensitive. In Boston,
we have our SJW, that's for sure.
Yeah. In Boston, everyone's so comfortable in the fact that everyone is basically liberal and woke there that you can have you can still poke fun at everything and people aren't really going to be sensitive and and it's a comedy town, so people understand comedy.
Right.
And the comedians understand comedy. And so, especially just doing, mostly open mics in my first 10 months, I could do rape jokes, whereas most of the time I do shows here and it's not necessarily going to be the right context. Right. That's what, for a while when I had a show that when I was doing it at the Hideout, and we'd rotate themes every week. 1 week a month, I would do the director's cut, which is like you could tell your most offensive,
your
disgusting,
rape jokes,
your rape jokes. So I had a platform for that. But otherwise, I mean, I have a whole set where like I start by just walking up to the microphone and going, you know what I think would suck about getting raped? I just feel like it would probably ruin rape fantasies for me, like for the rest of my life, and I enjoy it.
That's solid.
It goes from there to just discuss it for several minutes. But there's very rare contexts where that's going to be. I don't know.
Yeah,
well, you have our approval for
the
that.
crowd
Well,
has to
thank
be
you.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always welcome. Just, anytime, 802-359-7468. You have a
Just
rape
call
joke
in a rape
just
joke?
call a rape
Yeah.
joke, and
Okay.
the fourth segment we can call Raping with
Arielle's
rape corner.
the rape corner with Arielle Norman. I love it.
At least for one show.
Okay.
Rapial? No.
Yeah.
Can't be. There's this thing.
Yeah.
We'll workshop that later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no bad ideas in a brainstorm.
Nope.
Just really dumb ones.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, sure.
I've read articles about like whether or not their brainstorming's good because of that. Like, do you know how
There's too much fluff.
you know how you read these articles that are like productivity tips, and you realize like I've spent so much of my life reading productivity articles that I should have just been doing stuff.
There's a lot of wasted productivity. Yeah.
Yeah. You got more out of actually writing a blog about productivity instead of reading someone else's blog about it. Or writing a book. Can I ask you, when I was looking up your research about you, I found you on Open Couch. Is it a couch surfer?
Couch surfing.
You traveled a lot. Or at least you've traveled to a lot more places than I have.
Okay.
I'll just level
I
with it.
would love to travel a lot more. But yeah.
What is volcano surfing?
Volcano boarding, volcano surfing. That was in Nicaragua, and it's an active volcano where, like, on one side it's all this ash soot stuff, so it actually is very smooth because it's a very fine gravel.
Okay, yeah.
And so someone figured out that you could just put a board on that and go down the volcano.
Like sledding or...
Sledding. Now, people used to do it standing up. They've pretty much outlawed that because people were dying a lot. People still get injured.
Yeah.
We looked it up after we did it. This was me and my ex-wife. And we looked it up, and like 3% of people still die, or it was something outrageous. Whatever it was like Americans.
3%. Yeah,
I don't know if it was 3, but it was something where like if we had looked that up before, we wouldn't have done it probably. And the day like after we did it, we were talking to some girls, and their mother had just gotten flown back to a hospital because she'd broken her leg doing it. So, but it was sort of fun. I remember driving up to it,
like ziplining.
Yeah, exactly. Ziplining, how you're like, but ziplining doesn't feel as dangerous as this felt. This was like legitimately dangerous.
Yeah.
Like snowboarding down ash.
Yeah, I'm going, and little pieces of glass and stuff, you know.
Of course, yeah. And there's still rocks and stuff in there too. Of
Yeah.
course,
And it's still a volcano.
And
Yes.
I was injured afterward. I mean, I had tons of scrapes and stuff all over, and bruises and.
I gotta say, because at the beginning of this, it sounded kind of boring, but
No,
bruises and scrapes, like that's pretty cool.
It was
It's not
driving.
as cool as like actually going into an active volcano and surfing.
We didn't
somehow.
go into the lava.
I couldn't
Yeah,
figure out how it worked. But
yeah, it did sound like that at first. Where you're like, wait, yeah, like in Aladdin.
Oh. So
In
So you had a diet Mountain Dew before you went on. Okay, I got you.
Yes, it wasn't as extreme.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But I remember driving, like approaching it. It was like, oh, that's not so bad. That slope, like it. I was imagining. I don't know how to like a 40 degree. I don't know how to be like a gentle, like, oh, this will be cute, like going down back in Six Flags when they would make a snow hill or something, like if you were sledding as a kid.
Yeah.
But so the kind of beginning of so we had to climb a mountain with these boards on our back. The boards were just pieces of wood with like a little bit of like the little tiny metal part underneath on the front end on the bottom to make it smoother.
Yeah.
And then like a little lip. And then we had to wear these orange jumpsuits and some goggles and gloves or whatever.
Okay. And this is like really, is it pure black? Like
pretty much
dark gray?
Very dark gray.
Okay.
And so
the orange is so you stick out because everyone looks the same.
That was the only, these prison outfits were the only thing they had that were like kind of safe. And so the beginning of it was kind of like that kind of slope, like a snow hill. And then there was a drop off that from our vantage point waiting as other people did it, that's, I don't know if that's 50 feet away or whatever, like it just looks like a drop off. You just can't. So that's how steep it was. And he kind of said, okay, well, if you're going to the right, put your left foot out a little. If you're veering too far to the right, but you're, whatever. So it kind of gave us a little bit of instruction, and then you had to hold your hands in a certain way, whatever. Basically, I'm going and I'm starting to veer, and I already fall off before the drop off even happens. But I'm just kind of testing to see, like, okay, if I put my right foot like this, whatever. And so I have to get back on, and then I get back on, and I'm like, okay. So I go, and actually, no, I don't think I fell off in the beginning. I think I was like, okay, I'm proud of myself because I've made it. I was like, I can do this. And so once I got to the drop off, I was going very fast all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I started going to the side, and I thought, like, okay, I'll just put my right foot out the tiniest little bit. Well, I put it out the tiniest little bit. I fell and I flew several feet into the air, several feet, rolled, blah, blah, blah. So then now I'm separated from my board by about 15 feet. It's a uphill from me. My glasses are gone. Whatever.
Oh, no.
It's like skiing when it's a yard sale.
Yeah.
So I had to claw my way back up, and it was hot, volcanic, whatever. So I had to claw my way back up. Meanwhile, there's people coming because he sends 2 people at a time. And at first he was giving me a moment to be like, I won't send anyone. And now they just start whizzing by because he's tired of waiting for me, because it's hard. It's ash. Like you can't just, it's not like, so it's like 2 feet up, 1 foot down. And I finally get back on and get everything basically in place. I start going again. I fall off again and have to do the same thing. So by the time I get down, well, no, I thought everyone would be like, oh my God, you made it. And are you okay? But right as I was like scooting slowly down, now that I'm like, I'm not going fast at all. I'm like digging in my heels and just kind of letting myself, this other girl like just shoots down the whole way, never falls off until the very end when she just like rolls and she cuts herself all over and she's bleeding all over. So then I scoot down, and even my ex-wife, was like, no one greets me at the bottom to be like, are you okay? Oh my God, we saw, I'm just like, anyway, so I wouldn't recommend volcano boarding to anyone, except
cool,
that
though.
it does sound cool. And I have a tank top that I really like, but from it.
You got the tank top though. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Also, from this bio from Couchsurfing, me, you, and everyone we know, I don't see a lot of people who've actually seen that movie or even like it enough to put it in
I met
their bio.
Miranda July.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I love that movie.
And Samantha Bee, too. Did I see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a whole story.
A long time ago.
Well, we have to talk about that because she's awesome.
It was the first time you said, too, in the channel.
The first time what?
The actual video says the first time I met Samantha Bee.
Did I meet her a second time?
I don't know. I'm really asking you, I guess.
I'll have to look at that. That's funny. My brain is, my memory is like so dead. Does it really say the first?
The time.
No, the time. Okay.
I'm an asshole.
I was like, shit, dude.
Sorry.
No, Miranda July, so I love me, you, and everyone we know, and
Poop back and forth forever.
Mm-hmm. And then I listened on audiobook to this, it's something like, I can't believe I don't remember something like No One Belongs Here More Than You is what it's called.
Okay.
I mean, one of the best. It's a collection of short stories. I highly recommend listening to it on audiobook. Miranda reads it, and it's like weird because it flows seamlessly. You almost don't even know when a new story begins in a weird way.
Oh, interesting.
But they're just so good. It's so good, and it's just one of the best things I'd ever experienced. And so I was a huge fan, and at one point, I even wrote into her when the movie The Future was coming out. I think it was going to be my 25th birthday, and it was like she was going to answer one question from people in every city. She was doing a book tour, and she picked my question. She answered it, and then when I lived in New York, she was doing a reading, and I came to that, and I got to like have this moment. But before I even got to meet her, I had checked out from the library another book of hers where she had like worked with all these different artists of different kinds and had all these different projects in there. I can't remember what this one's called. But I wound up writing a letter to one of the artists in there, writing an email to her or something. And she reached out to me. She lives in Houston, and we wound up connecting. And Miranda July's work is all about connections. And so this woman and I wind up connecting. And so I just had this whole like, I've always felt this connection to Miranda July because I love what she does in these weird projects that she'll put out there in the universe. And also the first tweet I think I ever tweeted, or maybe it was the second or third, was to Miranda July because and not that she ever responded, but because after that Me, You, and Everyone We Know movie came out, I wrote her a letter that was like a haiku. I just wrote her a haiku about like her real name because Miranda July is like a pseudonym. Or she's changed her name or something from whatever it was. Anyway, so for a while I had this whole weird thing in my head about Miranda July, but yeah, I don't know. If you haven't read No One Belongs Here More Than You and you like Me, You, and Everyone You Know,
this is the I guess the website for it, which I don't know. I fell in love already. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Is there even anything you can click on, or is it just?
No, it looks like it's just this picture.
That's so great. One time. When I was in Sarajevo with some people that were friends of a friend that we'd been traveling with, I just saw this bag on the side of the road and like in the town, like so someone was selling it or whatever. But we were just like, "What is that bag?" And I was like, "It looks like a tambourine bag." And it was just one of those weird things where it was just funny to us because we were just in that delirious space.
Okay.
And so I took a picture of it.
Like that's an absurd thing, right?
It was an absurd thing, like a tambourine bag. What is that? Like that's to people. I don't know.
Sure.
But then that night we were just all like giggling and delirious, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny? And I was saying that, wouldn't it be funny if I just made a website that just was tambourinebag.com, and all it was just a picture of this tambourine bag. Nothing else, nothing to click on, no context, no explanation.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing I like doing. So then I did that. I paid, $10 or whatever. And I did that. And then I printed out 500 business cards that just said tambourinebag.com in small font, nothing else. And I put them up in so many different like coffee shops around the country. And there's no way for me to know if anyone ever like went to tambourinebag.com.
Sure.
I just liked the idea of someone being like, what? And typing it in and just being like, why?
Yeah, because it's the same thing. It's like you say that, and I'm like, does that exist? I mean, it does apparently.
A tambourine bag? Oh.
But I don't think.
Oh my God, a Louis Vuitton tambourine bag.
Right. For only $4.98.
Oh.
It really is a steal.
One day, if I'm ever rich, no, I'm still not going to support Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. But yeah, my first thought is like, I gotta go. I gotta find out right now. I have to Google that. Is
what
that a
about
real
the
thing?
Musician's Friend Grover? There's $23.
Yeah, see,
that's better.
I mean, that's real.
I should have kept tambourine bag. Maybe they would have had to buy it off me.
Yep. Can always forward it. We need to get another break. Let's come back after this.
After I tweeted that, she took off her wig, and I was like, "No, tweeted too soon. Not into her anymore." It'll come up.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Yay! Segment 3, the Fight 3. So we are still, of course, hanging out with Dylan. And still hanging out with Arielle. Norman. That's the right emphasis.
Normal.
So we have a segment we'd like to do with comedians called Totally Easy Questions.
Okay.
And it starts off like this.
Take it easy.
It's like Eagles easy.
Take it easy.
I can make anything difficult.
I hope so. First question should be the easiest. Let's go to ramp up. First question is, if you could force Donald Trump to watch a movie or listen to a song that would magically change his mind, which one would be the most effective?
Can I jump in for 1 second? And this is not come interrupting you because
No.
Papa Bowie changed his mind about what? Does that
Change, I mean, like this is a
Just
full
like
end,
like if
any-
it, like
anything
as
that
opposed to
you-
giving him acid or something. I mean,
Yes.
because I would prefer to just give him DMT or something. But
You want him to refocus his mind on something based on
I want him to have a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
But I don't trust that music would penetrate his soul.
Okay.
Oh no, he loves marching band music. John Philip
Yeah,
Sousa.
yeah.
Who
That's
doesn't?
probably true.
No, that actually is a true thing.
Really?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not, you know what I mean? I want him, again, it's like, is he going to smoke a joint and then listen to the song that I want him to listen to?
In this situation, he will,
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't-
He magically will listen to the
Okay,
song
then
and definitely change his
I
mind.
want him to watch Les Miserables, the musical.
Okay. Okay, that's correct.
Or read the book. Can we, wait, did you say movie? Book? Okay, book.
Movie or music.
They have the movie because reading
He's not
would
gonna,
not
he's
work.
not going to
yeah.
read Les Miserables.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's correct. So they only get a little bit more difficult. No big deal.
Okay, that one was pretty hard. I don't like having to choose like the one of something.
Okay. Okay. Well, the rest of it is going to be really hard then.
Okay.
Okay. You were given a chance to stop one of the following events from happening.
Multiple choice is fine.
The career of Pauly Shore or the creation of MTV's The Jersey Shore.
If I stopped the career of Pauly Shore, you know what I was going to say, then Martin Urbano wouldn't get to open for him, but he opened for Chris Kattan.
Chris
I always
Kattan,
think
yeah.
of those people as the same.
Yeah.
No, but I liked Encino Man, so we'll stop. What was the second thing you said?
Jersey Shore.
Stop Jersey Shore.
Jersey. Well, no, yeah. We'll
Okay,
stop
so
Jersey
no
Shore.
more Jersey Shore.
I tried to watch it for 3 minutes. I tried to watch it once. I made it 3 minutes.
3 full
before
minutes? Okay.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all I could do.
It's like a commercial break, I think. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
MTV has like a 15-minute commercial break.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the content you got through 19
Whole
episodes.
MTV
Yeah,
would
yeah.
still be playing music videos if it were up to me, and the real world. That would be it.
Sure.
So stop Jersey Shore from happening.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, because of that, a follow-up,
Oh.
you could take those people that you just kicked off forever, all of Jersey Shore.
What's her name?
Snooki, and then
Snooki.
the
JWoww.
JWoww, you have the situation,
Pauly D.
Pauly D.
Okay.
You want to take them all out on a date, but you're on a budget. Where would you take them? It has to be gluten-free, though.
I would make them watch a free comedy show.
Food, though. No, this is food. This is
Oh, it has to be-
Actually, no. Actually, that's my fault for not wording it correctly. You're right. It's a free comedy show.
I also don't know anything about those people.
Okay. Well,
So-
3 minutes is not enough to get to know a person.
I could not pick any of them out of a lineup, and that's not me trying to be cute. I literally don't. I would not know.
Okay. All right, fourth and final question, because comedy, rule of fourths. In 1965, Burt Bacharach and Jackie DeShannon famously suggested that the number one thing the world needs then was love, sweet love. Looking back 52 years later, what else did we really need? Very easy questions.
Good Lord.
A self-reflection.
Okay.
But I'm also not convinced that everybody is a conscious human being. I think probably several people are, but I have this theory that life is like a video game. It's not my theory, but if life is like a video game, it might be kind of like, we'll just use World of Warcraft as an example.
Of course, yeah.
Some people are PCs, other people are NPCs.
Okay.
What if not all human beings are fully intelligent player characters, but some of them are just kind of... I think my ex-wife might be an NPC.
She has a simple dialogue tree.
You know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's my...
That's
That's
correct.
my current theology. That's my current cosmology.
And I noticed that in your tweets, actually, you have at least two. I was hoping for a third. I couldn't find a third one, but you have two.
About
that-
robots?
About robots, yeah.
Well, that's my other theory, is that I'm an AI program.
Sure.
But I'm doing a pretty good job. Am I passing the Turing test?
So far,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I think so, yeah.
Literally every time I get high these days,
You think about
I
it.
go down a rabbit hole where I think like I am probably a computer program, and they're testing, and that's what Asperger's is that they're testing out varying versions of AI, and that like different, you know how people are differently Asperger's-y?
Sure.
We're just different. We're just different.
Spectrum,
1.0, 2.0,
yeah.
3.0. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Better versions of it. Okay.
Yeah. Better and worse. Sometimes they go a worse direction, and they have to
Better tread, better feet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of French. I mean, you studied psychology. I mean, so
Yeah.
you know about the. I don't know the actual names of it. I think of like the Truman Show disorder. You know,
Yeah.
where like, you were the only person in the world.
Oh, that's the
Like,
thing that I have to. I did a bit about that once or twice. I think only in Boston. I don't think I've done it. But about the idea of like it's not so much the Truman Show itself, but like what if I'm retarded and no one is going to tell me?
Sure, the Beautiful Mind disorder or whatever.
Yeah, except for just
Spoiler
retarded.
if you've never seen it. Oh, sure.
Yeah, because he's also but yeah.
He's just Russell Crowe. Leave the man alone.
I always have to find a way to dig into Russell Crowe.
Please do, because
Who will we not
he's
take
really
down?
kind of ruining that Javert role of the. They did such a good job of the movie,
But he can sing.
no, it's just not good. It's awful.
See?
And Javert is like, I go back and forth. They're all my favorites, but like Javert is one of my favorite roles, and he just fuck you, Russell Crowe. If you're listening. I don't care if this hurts your feelings. Why would you ruin that movie? You knew you weren't doing a good job, you know?
I mean, he threw a phone at a bellhop or something.
Yeah,
know?
he's
Like,
also
he's
just
not a
probably
person who
he sounds like
ever
not a
cares.
good person.
Yeah.
Well, why would the people let him be in that? Anyway,
Well, that was totally easy questions. Thank you so much for playing the game with us. And again, you did great. So
Take it easy. Take it easy.
if you hated any of these questions, 802-359-7468. That's 802-359-SHOP.
do y'all even check the voicemail though? I'm sure we haven't got any calls, but
No, we never get any calls,
Yeah.
yeah.
I always check it. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing.
We don't need hate mail. Like, how can you be on the internet as long as we've been on the damn internet for 5 years for this damn show?
They're kind
We don't
listeners.
get even. No one's even said Obama's gay. You suck. Nothing.
Right,
Nothing.
right.
Not even a bad thing.
Yeah. People are at best indifferent about
Yeah.
it. Lots of them are best indifferent.
Was like the most indifferent.
Well, because they're mostly English, right? I mean,
yeah.
we have a lot of English listeners. It's the weirdest thing.
What's
in the world.
going on?
I'll show you the numbers.
I would love to see them.
There was a question I was going to ask you about something else. Actually, as a follow up to the because Burt Bacharach, I was looking up "The World Needs Love," and over 100 artists have actually have covered that
song.
It's funny because it's not a very
Why?
good song.
Yeah, that was exactly
I
where
mean,
I
the
was going.
sentiment is nice, but
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I thought Elvis Costello because of the documentary Austin Powers, and so then I looked it up and saw it's like it starts off as the Supremes, the Swan.
The Swan
Luther
did it, really?
Vandross, Mr. Bungle.
you know what that's like?
Rick Astley?
That's like the Facebook shit now, where people post something that they know is going to get a bunch of likes because it's like positive and woke and whatever. That's why people are, covering what the world needs. Like, oh yeah, we get it. You're on the good. You're a good person.
You're like
on
love.
the side.
Oh,
Yeah,
weird.
yeah,
So
yeah.
controversial that you're like a big fan of love. Yeah.
Boring.
The last ones were Mighty Mighty.
You know what I
Boss
was thinking?
Stones,
Can I just say this? Can I? Oh my good lord!
Yeah.
They did it. No one else ever. They were like, "This is the
2016,
last
and
one."
it's
Mic
gone, yeah.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel, and I was super high yesterday. I'd eaten a pot cookie, but I finally watched the Pepsi commercial. And maybe because it's just like when people like overhype a movie to you and then you see it and you're like, well, this isn't as good as you. I had been hearing about this fucking commercial for 2 weeks as if it was the worst thing that had ever happened. And I thought, like, what the fuck? This is just what Pepsi and Coke have always done. Try to be all like, look how we are with togetherness and positive. It's like, it's no worse than anything. And again, it has brought if there's like a bipartisan consensus that commercial sucks, so Pepsi actually did bring the country together.
Yeah.
So they, in a meta way, I guess, achieved their goal.
That versus United.
And now I know what
versus,
Kendall Jenner looks like. Although she was cuter with the blonde wig. Sorry. I know there's supposed to be a positive thing where it's like she takes off her wig and of course she still has like perfectly straightened brown whatever. But
because that's how wigs work.
she was pretty hot with the blonde. But I tweeted something about finally watching the Pepsi commercial. Oh yeah, I don't know. And Kendall Jenner's cute. And then after I tweeted that, she took off her wig, and I was like, "Oh, tweeted too soon. Not into her anymore."
Out of all the stuff I thought was tone deaf, tone deaf is probably the worst it could get.
Yeah.
Honestly. But I think the dumbest thing really was the fact when she took her wig off, she gave it to her black assistant.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
That was the most annoying
And
thing.
not
It's like-
just that, like gave it to her black assistant,
Like,
kind of
yeah.
arm length shoved her back into a corner.
Right.
But I almost thought like it was almost as if they were being funny. I thought maybe and again because I've heard people
That's very
like
optimistic.
talk about it for 2 weeks,
Sure.
like I couldn't help but see it as a satire of itself.
Yeah.
So there's a part of me that was like, these Pepsi people are funny. Look at this ridiculous commercial that they made, obviously as a joke.
Where are the Lonely Island? Where are they?
Yeah, but I don't. But I do feel like so much of what people do on Facebook is like that Pepsi commercial to me.
Oh, sure.
So I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys are such fucking hypocrites. And
Yeah.
all you do is wait for somebody to come out and say, look, here's a thing that's not woke. And then you get to all be like, oh, Pepsi is the worst, blah, 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 like, meme. And I'm like, that's all you're all fucking doing. All you're doing is handing a cop a Pepsi. Except, at least Pepsi cared enough to be like, let's think about it not having to be a thing where it's cops against people. Like, I don't know. At least they tried to have a message that was like, hey,
inclusive or whatever.
Inclusive, and like it doesn't have to be black people matter or cops matter, you know.
Well,
So.
it's Kendall Jenner was the problem. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean like in a bigger sense. I mean like for that commercial specifically. If you were to take this commercial, this idea
Yeah.
back to the '90s, it literally would have been like they would have had the Pepsis. It would have been like just a bunch of nameless Asians.
Well, if no one had told me
They've
who,
already done it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
if I hadn't heard anyone talk about this commercial, to me that would have been just a random chick. I wouldn't have known that was Kendall Jenner, and so it's like.
But they had to change the story so she's like, I'm the one who'll fix it. Instead of that,
Right.
they'd be like,
Right.
everyone's drinking Pepsi. And the cop's like, oh, I want a Pepsi. And then he walks into the crowd, and then all the cops join.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's like a surf party. Like, that's what was the
Yeah,
whole
why
90s
is
thing was
Kendall-
like.
Well, I know Pepsi did this before. It was a little kid who was
Yeah.
doing a Michael Jackson dance.
Yeah.
Who handed up a Pepsi, I think, to a cop actually.
Right, so if anything,
Yeah.
they're
So
not
this-
hearkening.
yeah, they've
they're
already done
hearkening
this.
to their own commercials, and
Right.
it's probably Although the SNL, I did watch that yesterday.
Oh, that
too.
was
That was funny.
fantastic.
And the Kendall Jenner part of that is the funniest.
It's cute, right?
It's cute, right? So, but and that just gives me that feeling of like, you guys deserve this shitty commercial with shitty Kendall Jenner. Why is she famous? It's not my fault that idiot's famous. It's your fault this idiot's famous. And then you're going to sit there and blog about Pepsi's fault? No.
No, absolutely
Why
not.
don't click on the fucking listicles about her or
Right.
whatever? That's the other thing. Everybody,
But there are 25 reasons why, and number 6 will not.
but that's the thing.
I will not believe it.
I haven't
Yeah.
clicked on a listicle in a long, long time because it's against my morals. People say the internet's shitty and full of shit. Stop clicking on it. That's how it operates. You're driving traffic by giving it attention, and you posting on Facebook, look how bad this thing is. You're fucking driving traffic to that and encouraging it. All these people, you can see all they do, like so many people's stupid jobs are creating listicles and bullshit internet content and making the
hated.
internet a worse place.
Yeah.
To be hated, to be listicles, to be meaningless content that someone's going to click on so that you can get a little bit of AdSense or whatever.
Yeah.
So stop clicking on it. Stop giving attention to these people. Stop giving attention to they should have stopped giving attention to Trump a long time ago, but stop giving attention to the KKK, all these whatever. Stop it. You're creating that with this polarized, divisive, us against them, Manichaean universe of like, we're the good people and you're the bad people, and let's talk about how the bad people are. You're fueling it.
But Arielle, what do I do when I hate my job so much that I want to be distracted by it?
Quit it.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, is that it's all coming from the middle, kind of upper middle class. Well, the middle class may as well be the upper class at this point because our economy is so destroyed that like even
Yep.
the middle class has basically become much more poorer than they're comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But they still have more money than I do, and they also have jobs where you have all this free time.
Yeah.
And so you guys have all this free time to, read articles and post and and fuel the fire and whatever. And it's the brunchy people who have these jobs who are so fucking woke and everything. And I'm like, y'all, sorry, but y'all are the people who are the problem.
Yeah.
The middle class is perpetuating this culture, and what we really need is for the proletariat and the middle class to work together, whatever. But
Yeah.
the 1% is going to keep
Another Les
winning.
Mis reference, man. Jesus.
The proletariat, just saying proletariat. No, I'm very I care so much about class, and it's something that we don't talk about. And I think the middle class people who I know who are the wokest, straight white girls, will just say straight white guys too, whatever, don't think about class nearly enough.
Yeah.
Nearly enough. In America, we won't talk about class.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the biggest
It's a
problem.
bummer. That's the problem. It's a bummer.
Right. And so you have all these identity issues and whatever. And it's like the identity issues pale in comparison to class issues at this point. And
Yes.
of course, they're all interrelated.
Of course, yeah.
But we should be talking about what to do about it's like. It's almost as if liberals, people on the left, think that talking about the economy is, that's Trump thing. That's red people thing to think about economy first. But the economy affects all of us, and it affects the minorities, of course, worse than anybody. So if we talked about the economy first, but in a real way,
Yeah.
not in Trump's lies, obviously, I mean, I love saying this is why Trump won all the time because it comes up so many times in the conversations. But it sucks because it's like, this is why Trump won. Like when I'm mad at liberals, I'm like, this is why Trump won. But at the same time, of course, he's not actually going to do anything to help the proletariat.
Right.
But the proletariat was so mad at the brunchy liberals who are woke.
And tell them what to do. The regressive left. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
neolibs,
I'm probably too drunk to like fully be articulating the things
I don't know.
that
It was
I
very
really
strong.
want to say.
If we had more time, if you had more time,
Well,
come back. We'll have
one more segment.
One more segment. Well, one short segment.
Also, give me a few years in comedy before I'm really able to start spouting my opinions off at people.
That's right. You need a certain level of national name brand recognition.
Yeah, before I'm allowed.
Yeah.
Before you're really hated for it, that's when you know you've made it.
Well, I also need more chops or whatever in order to get away with it.
Sure. I mean, there are people far less talented than you trying it every day.
Yeah, trying it.
Yeah.
It's the operative word.
Let's take another break. We'll come back, and we're back.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
Listen to that.
Take that, everybody else.
On this deep groove, and the night's new. What a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock. We're here to rock you. It's like, damn,
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Segment 4, the toast segment.
Oh, sweet.
The least enthusiastic segment for
Sorry, y'all.
everything we've ever had.
Y'all didn't get to ask me about like 18 projects that you were going to ask me about.
There was one thing that I wanted to bring up specifically that you tweeted about.
Oh.
Has anyone done a mac and cheese stuffed crust pizza? And
Have they?
I want to let you know.
Pizza Hut did, right?
The Pizza
There
Hut
it
did.
is.
Yeah.
With bacon.
They made some kid's dream come true, which is
Yeah, but if it could be anybody,
2015.
I should have stipulated anybody but Pizza Hut.
Anybody
Anybody but Pizza Hut. I
okay,
want like a
okay.
local. I want it to be good. I should have stipulated that.
Sure.
Pizza
okay.
Hut.
So you want an artisan version of it. Speaking
Yeah.
of class issues of
contain
Yeah.
actual cheese.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Real
with
cheese, yeah.
I've gotten a lot better about the foodie stuff because I did, it got bad. But now that I am officially in the proletariat, I have joined them for life. I had to like get rid of a lot of my foodieism. So
I'm sure we can figure this out. We can do it at make a 17-part podcast where we're just trying to figure out how to make it fucking taste good.
Yeah.
Because like putting pasta inside bread, I mean, surely if Pizza Hut
Yeah.
can do it, I don't know.
that's true.
Well, you and I both spent some time in retail pizza.
Yes.
We know that people who are making those pies are not really of a, let's say, intellectual
Passionate?
level.
I don't think they're
passion's a thing,
passionate
yeah.
about their
Yeah.
work.
Passion,
Yeah.
as well as not having a few marbles, not maybe
Sure,
there.
sure.
Yeah. 2 beers short of a 6-pack's my point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if they can do it,
Anything's possible. Yeah.
the American dream, yeah.
Well, I'm inspired by this. So
Okay, please make me a good one.
okay.
Invite me on next time when you figured out how to make a mac and cheese stuffed
Okay.
crust pizza,
Okay.
and we'll eat
Okay.
that.
I will deliver that myself,
Sweet.
and we'll go. Okay. Because that's what I feel it's going to be like. It's like, all right, well,
Yeah, you did it.
yeah. Okay.
Not pepperoni though. I don't like pepperoni.
You don't like pepperoni? Okay.
So what are the parameters? So mac and cheese with the
I want like an artisan mac and cheese. You need to make homemade mac and cheese.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like a 3 or 4 cheese
At least,
mac and cheese.
yeah, 3 or
okay.
4 is a good,
Okay.
hint of gorgonzola. Hint of gorgonzola.
Just a hint. Okay. Write this down.
Gruyere, cheddar. Okay,
Okay. Cheddar.
Okay.
I can't remember the other one.
So bacon, no bacon in the mac and cheese?
No bacon. We don't want to distract.
Mac and cheese.
Okay.
Okay.
And no pepperoni. So what's in the pizza portion?
Oh, I mean, it could just be like a margarita or something. Well, I guess that doesn't go together. For just cheese, let's just do a cheese pizza.
Just cheese? Okay. Okay.
I mean, or maybe some mushrooms.
We'll
I
spitball
like
some more
mushrooms.
ideas. I think mushrooms, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Get the texture on top of that.
Yeah.
Because we're going for the crust is where the
Yeah.
payoff.
Where it's at.
Yeah. And we're not Donald Trump. We don't eat
You don't
from
eat
the
it
crust
backwards.
back. Yeah.
Or with a knife and fork.
Or with a knife and fork.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. Anyway, so thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us on the
Yeah.
show. This is a time where you can give us, if you have a toast or a cheers that you'd like to shout out to
I'm just gonna say L'chaim
L'chaim. Okay.
to life.
Big.
I'm just mostly Fiddler on the Roof. I don't like Jews, but I do like Fiddler on the Roof.
Sure.
Just kidding. To all our there's no
That's a
Jewish
losing battle.
listeners because we're in Texas, but I have a lot of Jewish friends in New York and Boston, and I miss Jews, quite frankly.
How many Jewish listeners do you think we have in Virginia?
More than 0.
More than 0. Okay. Well, all right.
Because Virginia counts as the D.C. area for the download numbers.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a huge chunk. So weird.
There's more than 0.
We have a lot of
accountants
a lot
there.
of NSA accountants probably.
Hello,
Like,
NSA.
Oh, the
Hello,
NSA is listening.
Oh yeah, every
Please,
episode.
please don't read my note files on my phone.
No, don't say.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's the
I told him where to go.
opposite.
God.
Son of a bitch. Where can we find you online?
ArielleNorman.com. You guys already know where to find me, clearly.
Yeah, this is for other people.
And of course, Twitter at Poop Tampon. I really
What was that again?
Poop Tampon.
At Poop Tampon?
At Poop Tampon.
Okay.
I really want my next project is to try to get YouTube subscribers.
Okay.
So I think if you just type in Arielle Norman, you can follow. I think technically it's Arielle the Show, which is something I put up probably 15 years ago that now I just can't get rid of. But yeah, and the thing is, you're supposed to apparently produce material regularly. That helps.
Yeah,
I don't know why that helps.
a lot, yeah.
I'm so overwhelmed with all the things I want to do. Isn't it better if I put something out once a month and that's all you're going to have to deal with?
If it's consistent, we can talk about that after the show.
Yeah. But I just mean, for if any of our listeners, it won't be too much. It's just if I happen to get around to doing something. But I just want to thank you for subscribing, Travis. But I just, it's apparently important to a lot of clubs and stuff. That's just the next thing that I need to build.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Same here.
I guess that makes sense.
Now, one day I'll go out to LA and get famous, and then I guess this won't matter. But in the meantime, I need to just beg everybody for subscriptions. So subscribe to me on YouTube.
Well, we can figure a way to make that easier to beg for.
Yeah.
For which to.
It's entertaining stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about social media. So.
You don't need it in your industry. No one knows anything.
Thankfully. Yeah, on Instagram it's at self-awarial, and it's like the last when I was at Houston Whatever Fest, I got off stage. And it was like, the first person was like, hey, can I follow you? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I thought, like, on Facebook. And they're like, what's your Instagram? And I'm like, okay. And then the next person, what's your Twitter? It's like, everybody has a different thing that they want to follow. So I'm like, fine. Yeah. So I do post sometimes on Instagram. I'm trying to do more. And if that's how people, I'm a comedian, so a picture's not going to, but I guess you could do videos. I don't know.
Right.
But I do all the things pretty much.
Okay.
I do Snapchat now. I don't know how that works. So if you want to follow me on Snapchat,
Yeah.
I think it's at Oversharial. I don't know.
That's the one step because I don't know. For Instagram, it's really hard for this show because it's like we're trying to talk to people and not just take pictures of those people. Like we're not on vacation with these people that are on the show.
Well, maybe you should.
Maybe you just take more pictures. But then Snapchat's like that just seems like too much. Too much.
It seems like a fun thing to do with just my friends, and that's kind of what I use it as.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like I just don't want to fall behind on every single thing.
Yeah.
Where, if I don't do it now, then I won't have. Kim Kardashian apparently has a big. I send her.
She has big. She has big
some snaps.
She has big things.
Yeah, I don't get it. I probably couldn't pick her out of a lineup either, quite frankly.
Wow.
Well, she looks like a hobbit.
Wow.
Does she?
Yeah.
I thought she was tall.
No, she's a hobbit.
Oh, I have a wrong person in my head then.
I'm absolutely 100% surprised at how you were able to hide yourself from all the Kardashians.
I live under a rock. I don't have TV.
But you know a lot of
I watch
things, though,
Netflix and I read books, so that takes up all the time that other
That's true. It
people
goes the
are.
other way.
Yeah.
Sure.
Liberal.
Where can we find you? We're going to be performing.
That is a slight against conservatives that I take umbrage against. Where can I find me?
This will come out on Wednesday, so where we can find you.
You have shows coming up.
Shows coming up.
Yeah. Let me look at my calendar. This will come out Wednesday the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to be at Moon Tower.
All right.
I'll be at 9 p.m. at the Velveeta Room on tomorrow, the 20th, at 9 p.m. the Velveeta Room if you're doing Moon Tower. If you're not doing Moon Tower... Sorry.
It's a good song.
On April 26th, a week from today, you'll see me at Speakeasy. I assume the show starts at 8. I'm doing 30 minutes, and then Mac Blake's doing 30 minutes. So Jared McCorkle
cool.
and Hunter Duncan are hosting this cool new show at Speakeasy that they're doing 2 comics each time who do 30 minutes each. So it's a really cool
Nice.
concept.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just want to say one more, just because on Friday the 28th, I'm doing a charity show for, it's called Carebox, and it's Stand Up for Carebox. It's a charity that puts care boxes together for people with cancer, the like stuff that it's otherwise really annoying for them to have to also deal. Not only are they dealing with all this having cancer and everything, but figuring out how to get all the supplies that they need. So CareBox takes care of all that kind of stuff for them.
Okay.
So we're doing a charity show. So if you want to look up Stand Up for CareBox, if you have money, I don't know if any of your listeners have money.
I mean, the NSA, I don't know.
Yeah, they might be able to fly out, support, buy a ticket and don't even come. Do come, but if you live in DC, buy a ticket and just write them a check or whatever.
It's a charity, so tax deductible.
Sure. You can hear all of it from like the van outside.
Yeah, I mean they'll obviously be able to listen to it anyway. So pay. Hey, NSA, if you're going to listen to it, pay for the ticket. Jesus.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you again so much for coming and hang out with us. I hope your show tonight is fun. I hope you had a good time with us.
I did.
Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you wanted to bring up?
I feel like that's a lot of pressure. And
Next time. Next time
have me
we'll
on
figure it.
again.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely. Well, I have to make a pizza now, so.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that's a good point.
I just want to thank you again for being at our show. Day drinking with friends.
Thanks.
You had your set was I loved it. It was my favorite.
Yes.
It was your favorite?
It was my favorite.
Listen to that.
Take that, everybody else.
Yeah, I can't even remember who was on that show, but take that, Vanessa. I remember you. Devin Walker? No, I'm starting to come back to me.
Both Lisas.
Both Lisas?
Zach, Jesse.
Look at that.
Yeah. Take that.
Have y'all had them on? Besides Vanessa?
No, just.
Well, I'm going to listen to their episodes when you have them on, and I'm going to see if you tell them that their set was your favorite.
Well, you called me out now, so I can't. So.
Good. Yeah, because I will be listening.
Yeah, we have a canon on the show, all right? Precedent set.
It's on the record. My set was your favorite.
There were a lot of people, and couldn't remember your name, so they came up with creative ways of remembering who you were.
Poop tampon. I think.
Poop tampon, yeah. Poop rape. Yours was.
Your
the
set was
favorite,
fantastic.
So yeah.
Wait,
So-
people told you? Never mind. We'll
Yes,
talk about
yes,
it.
we'll talk about it.
All right.
Dylan, thanks for helping me run the show.
Yeah.
If you like the show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. That's drunkcastlive.com for pics, civics, and ringtones. You go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive. We're at drunkcastlive on Twitter, at drunkcastlivepics on Instagram. It's PICS, unless you spell it some other way. We're in the iTunes store with the Zune store. Sorry. We're in the iTunes store. We're in the Stitcher store. We're on the FM thing that popped up randomly.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the Google Play Store as well. Go grab the thing anywhere you can, and maybe leave a comment if you can, and tell us what you think. Rate the thing, and et cetera. Questions at drunkcastlive.com is also a place where you can send us a question, or 802-359-7468, 802-359-SHOT. Phone, call, text. Tell us what you think.
Drunk dial.
Put it in your phone as.
I'm going to drunk dial you guys.
Please.
Yes, we'd
Tonight.
love that.
Please.
No, if you're on stage,
Yes.
you just want to put that in your act,
All right.
go for it. Yeah.
Or like right before you go to sleep, you want to text and be like, "I hate you guys." Like that's all we want.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything. But if, like we're trying to get people to like hey, remember that.
I'm going to send you a dick pic, quite frankly.
That would be
I'm going
impressive.
to find someone tonight who's going to let me take a picture of his dick. Because it can't just be off the internet.
No, of course
that's
not. No, it has to be personal. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that you're still in a fucking
did the whole-
challenge for that.
the whole Abu Ghraib.
No one has sent me a
pose.
dick pic to this day. I've talked about that on stage so many times, and everyone always jokes, how dangerous that you're like saying that. And I'm like, literally no one has ever. You can Facebook message me your dick.
You've never gone
One
to a
comic-
fraternity ever, have you?
One comic after we had a whole thing about that was like, I'm going to send you a dick pic. What if I did that? And then I was like, yeah, but you have to do it, like, surprise me with it. You can't just do it now that we've been talking
Sure.
about it.
Yeah,
He still
sure.
hasn't
Yeah.
sent me one.
Yeah.
And he would, this guy. He will. I'm sure he will.
I love
Give
it.
it.
We need a chance to talk about the thread. You just
What? Again, you got him.
yeah.
Next, when you come back,
Next
we're
time,
going to talk about.
next time we'll talk about your obsession with
We're
male
gonna unravel
penises.
this.
I'm always happy to come get drunk and talk about
Help
myself.
you know what the average penis length is, because you're like 19 inches, right? Normal, like, and guys are like, yeah, of course, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
You got it. So that's next time. And next week we have Rob Gagnon. Then we have Avery Moore on the show.
Yes.
And they're both excellent people. Hope you come check that out. And that's it. I'm Travis. We love you so much. We'll see you next week.
You know me better than I know myself at this point, then.
That's the goal. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming. Have a good night.